this the first screening that's happening for the public?
Yep, this is the first time anybody's seeing this. I am, oh yeah, thank you. I am jazzed. This has been, I've personally had to keep quiet about this for the last 2 years. So to finally be able to, one, to say that this thing actually exists, and two, let alone I got to be on it, is pretty wonderful. So
I'm really impressed with the visuals and the animation and art style.
Sure.
Because I don't think we've ever seen a DC animated movie from the direct-to-video movies that looks quite like this.
Nope.
And it feels like you're able to experiment a little bit more with the shading, the lighting, and just the design. I don't think we've seen Batman or the Turtles look quite like this before. So can you speak on that at all?
yeah, we pulled a lot from comic book reference. Andy Kuhn did the original preliminary designs. He does the IDW stuff. He does runs in IDW. And then once we got that, Stephen Choi, our lead character designer, came in and just killed it phenomenally, and he simplified the designs and made them animation friendly. And then, but as far as like designs and what they look for, having a comic book artist who already pulls from good comic book resources, do with preliminary designs, already puts us on a good road to start. As far as like Batman goes, we pulled from Jim Aparo, Garcia Lopez, Neil Adams era stuff. Bringing back the blue trunks.
See some of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in there. And as far as the overall look and tone and feel of it, this is not in the DC Universe continuity. So we had we do have to stand out, not unlike Turtles and Batman would not stand out. But there is DC, the universe has established so much of what they have built on. We don't want to trope on that or be mixed into that in any way, either to confuse any audiences or to just take away from anything that they've done. And potentially, if this sells more and we get people want more, we can make a bolder universe.
But was the idea always to make it look a little different?
Absolutely.
So
it needs to stand on its own.
There was never an idea to make it look like Barassa or the Tim Stamp?
Never,
Okay.
never. It was always going to be different from day one. It was going to be its own standalone thing.
I love it.
Cool, glad.
And how's as far as changing technology and techniques? How were you able to kind of create a more unique look that way?
Post is awesome nowadays. Like what we can accomplish in a short amount of time with a very limited budget is pretty quite wonderful. The animation studio that we had, unfortunately, at the first pass of animation, wasn't really sitting well with anybody, and so we were able to go take an additional 2 weeks per act. And the producer, Ben Jones, and myself, whatever we could retake and redraw or reanimate, we did in 2 weeks. It was like, whatever you can do in the 2 week time, we can send it out. We can get it redone. So with the usage of screenshots and Storyboard Pro and timelines, and we were able to pump out stuff a lot faster in a shorter amount of time. So, nothing takes away from the pencil mileage that artists have to do. That all of this stuff is still hand done, but having some tools like copy paste or hold, those little 1 second things add up over time, and so it's been very beneficial for us. Again, especially post, being able to go back and add grads or irises or any sort of post special effects, camera shakes, impacts, sparks, any of that stuff really helps kind of bring the overall package together.
Yeah, it always blows my mind when I read about how many hours went into hand drawing and how many.
Animation, by the very nature, is kind of hell. It's 24 drawings for 1 second of life.
Yeah, dude, that just blows my mind when I hear stuff like that.
Do that, multiply that by a 90-minute movie.
Batman's probably seen a lot in his career, but can the Bat Brain wrap its head around the idea of anthropomorphic Mutant Ninja Turtle guys?
I think the one thing that always bugs me in a lot of DC movies is when Batman deals with a guy like Clayface. Right. And then he sees a ghost, and that's not it. That can't be possible. You just fought a giant clay monster. You're a 6'5", 4" dude, whatever, in bat ears. It's probably plausible. Let's go on the plausible. Let's pretend it's what it is and go from that. So I think our Batman is very much just in our universe in general, we very much embrace what everything is. We are very aware of the story we are telling, very aware of what type of movie it is. So I think we very much embrace. I mean, look at Batman's Rogues Gallery. Like, what hasn't he seen?
Yeah.
So I
Alien
think
starfish, you know.
right, yeah. I mean, or Gibble people. I mean, come on, like
Immortals.
right? It's all there. So yeah, I think I have to chuckle when people are like, oh, that won't work well. Really? No, will it not? Is it really work? Killer Croc. Killer Croc. Come on. But yeah. I think it's really fun to see Batman juxtaposed to these guys.
So when you work on, let's say, this movie, it's hard. I imagine it has to be hard to find a path of like which iteration we go with. I know you take different iterations.
Sure.
But you try to find a movie that has a good balance because Batman, Teenage Mutant Turtle fans are older for the most part,
Yes.
even though they're still younger fans.
Right.
How hard is it to find a balance between finding a movie that you're going to aim towards adults while still including children?
The big one is it's figuring out who your demographic is, figuring out who your audience is. Because if our audience is as kids, if that's who we're trying to aim this at, we're not going to probably put broken clavicles and broken arms and whatnot. But if this is a movie catered towards the older audience, say the people that grew up with 89 Batman, 1990 Turtles, the 87 series, the 84 comic, anybody that grew up with that stuff is probably we're all about the relative age now. Maybe we're having kids and families of our own, so it's for them. And luckily for me, I'm very fortunate that one thing that I was saying is that I'm part of the target demographic. I am those wonderful nerds that are going to be in that audience watching this movie. So yeah, if something's not going to feel right, I'm going to say it. I know, and not to say I'm the end all be all, I am absolutely not. There is a team that does this, and I had a really good team that I could bounce stuff off of. Hey, is this too corny to embrace? That's a little too much. All right, let's not do it. Or the team would bring in multiple cameos or whatever. So there are, if you got love for 89 Batman, if you got love for 1990 Turtles, Secret of the Ooze, we don't talk about 3, didn't really happen. You're also a Houston fan, so I won't hold a ticket.
Well, I think people underestimate as well what kids will connect with. Like, even
Absolutely,
if you do aim it towards this
if you make it pure, if you make it about the story, if you just try to tell a story, doesn't matter, people will resonate in general. That's why the animated series has withstood the test of time. That's why there's fans of the 2012 series for Turtles, fans of the 2003 series for Turtles. If you just tell stories, I feel like the audience will follow. And that's what we did. We tried to just embrace the universe, and we just try to tell a nice, solid, linear story, but to warrant enough to have these characters come together and have fun.
I would really appreciate if you could pitch to Warner Brothers next, since there is a comic, Justice League versus Masters of the Universe.
Man, see, I'm campaigning for Batman versus Predator. I want that so bad.
Batman versus Judge Dredd. All
I will say is, if you guys want more crossovers, money is where your mouth is.
Thank you, Jake.
Awesome, thank you guys.
This is a big score, gentlemen. It's the Bat! Fire! Fire! Do I look like a friggin' bat to you? Huh?
I've read rumors about a supernatural bat creature in Gotham, but I assumed it was an urban legend.
Ninja Turtles.
We came to Gotham to stop Shredder and the Foot Clan.